to ESPN and to the College Football Playoff Committee. What are you guys thinking? What are you doing? ESPN, what are you guys doing? Seriously. How low are you guys willing to stoop to shine the shoes of the SEC and the College Football Playoff Committee? Like, you can't get any lower than this. It's ridiculous. Because that's what you are. You're just like the SEC's propaganda network and their mouthpiece. When you signed that deal to be exclusive media rights, we all knew this was going to happen. We all knew you would try to shoo into the playoff as many SEC teams as you could manage. It really can't get any worse than this. It turned what the playoff, the college football playoffs, what should have been, a really fun time, should have included everybody, like all four power conferences, as well as the G6. So everybody got a shot to shoot for the national championship. You guys have taken that away, just given everybody besides the SEC and Big Ten just table scraps. You guys should really be ashamed. Like, the propaganda you guys are running on your network is ridiculous. I'm not even, I'm not even going to address the college football playoff committee because ESPN, I know you're behind this. I know you're behind it. You're calling the shots for the playoff committee and then just running whatever cover you need to justify the decisions that are made. So how can you possibly justify bumping Alabama up one spot after they barely beat Auburn, and then to have that Hunter guy say, "Oh yeah, it's because Alabama had a 17-point lead over Auburn. And it was just really impressive." And then their gutsy fourth down call was just so impressive, most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. And then to bump Alabama up one spot and then move, have them jump Notre Dame even. That was just crazy. And then I love how, like, on all your graphics for the past couple of weeks, you've shown comparisons between all the different teams that are shooting for the at-large spot in the playoff, but you refuse to show BYU's resume. I wonder why. Is that because showing their stats and how they compare to everybody else would just like embarrass you? Would embarrass the playoff committee? I mean, just take for instance BYU versus Notre Dame. BYU's got their strength of record is 6, and Notre Dame's is 13. BYU's strength of schedule is 35. Notre Dame's is 42. And Notre Dame has one more loss than BYU. So how in the crap is BYU one spot behind Notre Dame in the playoff? BYU should at least be number 10, if not higher. This is absolutely criminal what you're doing. It's clearly because of the brand. It's all you care about is the brands. You don't care about competition or the results on the field. I don't care what you say anymore. I'm not even going to listen to any of your pundits, what they have to say. It's because I know it's all crap. It's all lies and propaganda. I mean, BYU's strength of record is 6. They're 11-1 in a Power 4 conference. They're rated number 11. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's obvious bias against BYU for some reason. I don't know why. BYU's only loss is to the number 4 team, by the way. Number 4 Texas Tech, which should be higher in the poll, honestly, or in the playoff rankings. They should be at least number 3. They're that good. They could win the championship this year. As long as Morton stays healthy, they can win the championship. Their defense is that good. So I really don't get what's going on here. Well, I do. I understand that it's all about TV ratings and money, and you don't care about fair competition or letting the games matter. I mean, you've made entire season pretty much meaningless. Like BYU plays in a Power Four conference. The Big 12 is a Power Four conference. There's really good teams in there. And how many teams with winning records has BYU beaten? More than Texas A&M, I can tell you that. And yet Texas A&M is ranked seventh. Texas A&M has played nobody except for Notre Dame, and they almost lost to South Carolina. They should have lost to South Carolina. They were down by 30 to that team. I don't care if South Carolina is an SEC team; they suck. And then we have number 9 Alabama. They lost to Florida State by 14. Florida State, who's sub 500. Florida State finished 5-7, 13th in the ACC, and they beat Alabama by 14. I don't care what time of the year this took place. Any loss like that should automatically disqualify any team from participating in the playoff. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. The only way it makes any sense is because, oh, we can't have that Alabama brand be left out. They're way too valuable. They make us way too much money to have them sit out of the playoff. I'll bet you, even if they lose the SEC championship and go 9-3, ESPN will still find a way to shovel them into the playoff. ESPN just loves kissing their boots. That's for sure. I'm so sick of the bias. I'm so sick of the bias against a Power Four team in a Power Four conference. The last 2 years, BYU has only lost 3 games. They've gone 22-3. They've only lost 3 games in 2 years. They were hosed last year by the committee. Sorry, by ESPN. And they're being hosed again this year. And then I love Reese Davis getting on last night talking about, oh yeah, all these BYU fans are complaining, but all their team needs to do is just win the championship and they'll get in. Simple, right? Reese, what other team that has that same requirement made for? Like, does Alabama have to do that? Do they honestly have to win the SEC championship to get in? Does Indiana or Ohio State have to win the Big Ten championship to get in? It was just so despicable by Reese Davis. Can't believe he had the audacity to be that smug about it. I really can't stand ESPN, if you can't tell. And I love the people who want to downplay the Big 12. It's so funny to me. Because last I looked, Big 12 had 5 teams in the CFP top 25. Oh, that's really low, right? Oh, that's like almost like a G5 conference. That only 5 teams ranked? Well, let's see. How many Big Ten teams are ranked? Oh, 6. Big Ten has 6 teams ranked. So you can't tell me, yeah, oh yeah, BYU's schedule is just so weak. No, BYU had to play some really tough teams. They were just better than those teams, and they beat them. Oh, but BYU plays so many close games. They're just lucky. Yeah, lucky teams don't win 90% of those games like BYU has over the last 2 years. Yeah, don't give me that. The Big 12 as a conference is just as tough as the Big Ten. They're obviously way tougher than the ACC, which is a complete joke at the moment. I mean, Duke could win that conference at 7-5. At 7-5, which would cause the ACC to miss the playoff completely. and allow two G5 teams to get into the playoff, which would be a complete disaster. That'd be the funniest thing to ever happen. I actually want it to happen. I want the whole playoff just to burn down. That would be so fun to watch. Just want to watch the SEC flame out. I wouldn't even mind if the Big Ten won the championship again this year. Just as long as the ACC or the SEC flames out yet again, they don't win another championship. I'm gonna boycott the playoffs. You know, I'm not even gonna watch it except for any game that either a Big 12 team's playing in or an ACC team's playing in. But other than that, I'm not watching any of the games. I hope anybody who hears this will want to boycott as well. This is way out of hand and totally ridiculous. There needs to be a lawsuit because there's clearly collusion going on between the SEC, the playoff committee, and ESPN. Oh, who by the way happens to be running the playoff? They have the broadcast rights to the playoff, so they basically run it. They get to decide who's in, who's out. Absolute collusion. I hate it. I'm so sick of it. I love the audacity of the SEC. Just their boldness, their cojones. They already have 5 teams in the playoff out of a 12-team playoff. And there's teams crying about not getting in Texas and Vanderbilt. They're both crying about it. So the SEC wants a total of 7 teams in the playoff out of 12. That's a joke. That completely makes the whole season totally pointless. And then you have Vanderbilt, who's actually suing over this, which is so funny. I hope their lawsuit goes through. I hope there's discovery so that we can see all the communications between the SEC and ESPN and the football committee, the playoff committee. I hope that all comes out in the open. We can see what's actually been happening behind the scenes. It's a joke. They're trying so hard to destroy my fandom of college football. It's my favorite sport. I love it way more than the NFL or any other sport. I love my team BYU. Not just because they're good, but because of what they stand for. I take an immense amount of pride in watching them, and when they win big games, I even might get a little emotional. I won't go any further and explain what that means. Might have shed a tear or two, maybe. I don't really want to admit that, but yeah, because they just mean so much to me. I love those kids that play for them. So ESPN, congratulations. You've lost all credibility. I hope everybody boycotts you, and I hope you guys go out of business. I love Fox way more. Their TV broadcasts are way better than yours. I even love TNT's broadcasts and their studio shows. They're way more entertaining than any of yours, ESPN. All right, I'm going to end it there. All right, have a good day, everybody.